When Alyssa Moriani loses her father, she's faced with an impossible choice: fulfill her father's last wish and marry Daniel Devereaux, her best friend's older brother, or lose her father's company to the one person that'll burn everything she's worked for to the ground. Her marriage to Daniel was never meant to be more than a business arrangement. They were never meant to be so perfect together, and they were definitely never meant to fall in love. After all, they started their marriage with an end date in sight. Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to the podcast. So, we are here for that second book by Catharina Maura, um, which is called The Ties That Bind, a Marriage of Convenience novel. So, let's jump right into it. So, immediately, we're started with a funeral. Alyssa has just lost her father, and as they're leaving, she looks to her best friend to, drive her home, but he can't even do that. He has to rush to go be with his girlfriend. So he asks his older brother to take her home. And we have another young lady who is in love with her best friend. Well, Aries wasn't Raven's best friend, but she was his friend. But okay, Alyssa and Dominic are best friends, and she's in love with him. And it's like everybody knows it. And one night when they got drunk together, she confessed it to him, and he's been like weird about it ever since. With, they're not spending much time together. He has this girlfriend who is jealous of their relationship, and he's catering like all of his time to her. So it's just not the same. But Dominic's brother Dan, he takes her home, and on the ride there, she asks him like, what about the will? And he's like, no, not today. Today is a day of grieving, we just lost your father, and we will worry about it later. So when he takes her home, and when she opens the door, it's a whole bunch of people in her house. Her grandmother, who was her father's mother, she has the mayor there. She has like all these people in Alyssa's house, and it's like, we should go speak to them. You should be a good host. All this stuff, and it's just like Alyssa's not even close to her. She don't talk to the lady, nothing like that. And Daniel steps up, and he's like, um, he said something about, I know you're not close to her, and you would know that this is basically inappropriate. So he gets everybody to leave, and he takes her into the kitchen, makes her a cup of tea, because her father used to always do that when she was upset. And she decides, like, no, I want to get the reading of the will over with now so we can get it out the way. So, come to find out, her dad left his mom a cottage in France, and that was it. And literally everything else went to Alyssa. And the mom, who was trying to act like she was so sad about her son's passing, gets up looking furious, like, I know that little place isn't all of what he left me. And it's like, that's it. And so then she said something about Alyssa taking over, basically paying her way of life like her son did. And the lawyer says there's no mentioning of that in this will. And so she looks at Alyssa and then like walks off in a huff. And it's like, yeah, your days of mooching off your son is over now that he did. And I'm like, I don't mean to laugh, but it's just like, sadly, it's like, I feel like that was his only way of getting out of it. It's like, shit, I've had to take care of you all this time. Now that I'm dead, I'm not gonna make my daughter do it too. And but there is what is it? Like a clause to her taking over the company. She has to get married to Daniel. And she's like, what? And they both look at each other because Daniel, he works with his own family's company, like Devereaux Company, but he's also like a part of the marketing firm that her father ran. So in order for her to control the 51 shares, I believe that he had, they have to get married or it goes to his mother. And I'm just like, why would that be a stipulation? If you're not even willing to pay her way in life after like make that a stipulation of her keep getting paid, why would you then like put your shares up like that? And I'm sorry, but I would have called his bluff. I'm like, you still got a job, technically, unless she decided to fire you. Um, but they agree to go through with it. They agree to get married. I think what they set a date for 3 years. Like we'll be married for 3 years. Um, enough to get through it, basically. And it's like at the end of 3 years, she'll have control of the company or control of those shares, you know. Anywho, so um at first Dominic, for some reason he's against it. He's like, y'all don't even like each other, y'all can't stand each other, whoop de whoop, whatever. And I feel like he was always looking at Alyssa as if she would always be there, whether he decided to pick her up and put her down like a doll. And I love that she had the conversation with him like, you're not a good friend to me. Like, because even though she told him that she was in love with him, like, literally, she said that and nothing else happened after that. Like, and even before that, she had made no moves on him. Their relationship was as it always had been, of them just being friends. And it's just like, you're not a good friend to me. When you need me, I'm there for you. Like, I'm your shoulder to cry on, I'm your confidant, but you're not returning that energy to me. It's like my damn father just died. And instead of you being my shoulder to cry on, you leave me with your brother at the funeral to go cater to your girlfriend. And so, he apologizes and is like, give me one more chance to make it up to you. I promise. He's like, you know what? Let's go out for ice cream. Just me and you. Like, just as friends, it's just going to be us. And she gets her hopes up. She's like, I might finally get my friend back. So she agrees. So later on that night, she done put on the dress, which I'm like, when she describes the dress and like how she, like, you got heels on, like, baby, you got heels on to go get some ice cream? And Daniel asks her that, like, why you dressed like that? And she's like, we're going to get ice cream. There's nothing to it. It's just a simple. I'm like, nah, this, the outfit that you chose, like, it just didn't make no sense. But, anyway, the girlfriend come bouncing down the stairs and it's like, oh, Daniel, are you joining us as well? And it's just like she knew right then, as soon as she said that she was also coming with them. And so Daniel looks at Alyssa and is like, no. And I'm taking Alyssa to dinner, so tell Dominic that we'll catch him next time. Because it's just like, you cannot be without her for 1 second. And that is fucking frustrating. Like, as friends, whether it's same gender friends or opposite gender friends, we should be able to hang out without your fucking spouse there. If they gotta be joined at your hip like that, like y'all fucking Siamese twins, then we can't be friends then. Cause ain't shit going on between us where you feel like you can't leave them at home for the night. Like, we've been friends as kids. It's gonna be certain shit that we gonna talk about that she just not gonna get, and we shouldn't have to explain to her. And I'm just like, I feel that way. It's certain inside joke between friends that should stay shit. That ain't for you. Like, back the hell up. Me and my best friend, we got plenty of jokes. Like, we just say some shit and bust out laughing, and people like, what? None of your fucking business. Me and them know what that means. Like, back the hell up. But anyway, it's like after that, it kind of put the nail in the coffin for their friendship for a bit, because it's just like he promised that it would just be them two. It's just like, nothing's coming of this, but why can't you just do what you said you was gonna do and leave her where the hell she at. But anyway, after that, her and Daniel, like, they're starting to get close. They flirting. It's an attraction between them where it's just like, I might not like your brother after all. Like, I thought I was in love with him, but I like where this is going. And even though they have the agreement in place, like, after 3 years we get a divorce. And at first they had the agreement to see other people. It's just like, we're gonna be married, but it's gonna be an open marriage. And then anytime she was hanging out with Dominic, or it just seemed like they were a little too close, Daniel didn't like that. And when he took her out to dinner, they had a conversation of, he said there's someone he's had his eye on, and he's thinking about pursuing her, and he might propose to her and all that type of stuff. And they make this bet of, if he proposes to the woman before their arrangement is over, or if he can finally get this woman, she owe him a brand new Aston Martin. Like, whatever year that finally happens, she owes him a brand new car that year. And he said he'll buy her an apartment or a house of the same value of whatever the car costs. So that's the bet that they have. And so then, what is it? She goes on, like, one of their marketing companies, like, after the father died, a lot of people were pulling out of the company. Like, he died. Ain't nobody at that company as brilliant as he is. We gon' get off this ship while it's sinking. But it's like, y'all ain't even gave it a chance yet. Y'all don't know what they could do, could not do. Like, just give it a chance. Anyway, she has a meeting with a guy named Liam. Liam has always wanted her, has always had a crush on her. And when Daniel finds that out, like, he feel away, and he's like, no, I changed my mind. Ain't no dating while we married. We gotta agree to be faithful to each other. So she agrees. It's just like, cool, whatever, ain't no problem with that. Because she's starting to have feelings for him anyway. Um, so they're doing the whole rigmarole where she wants him now. It's just like, I have feelings for Daniel now. But the mom, okay. How about this? So one night she's sleeping in the bed with him. Um and the next morning the mama shows up in his room, because at first they were staying at the mom's house, because like how they have those big old houses, and it's like, this is your wing, this is your wing, whatever. She comes in and it's like, you're not really married to Alyssa, so I need to get you somebody that you can actually be with. So she done invited somebody for lunch. And while they're at the lunch, I'll, it's something about the parents, because she has always been like a second mother to Alyssa. So, she loves this lady, but it's just like the way she talking, and she don't know Alyssa is there, so she just feel like she talking to her son, and it's like, oh, y'all not really married. She not really gonna care. So I'm finna set you up with this woman, and you're not really right for Alyssa anyway. So Alyssa low key feels betrayed, and I feel betrayed right along with her, because it's just like, why are you trying to set my husband up with somebody else? I don't give a damn what you just said. For the time being, he's my husband. But they sitting at lunch, and the mama just talking them up like, "Oh, aren't they great? They have this in common and that in common." And the girl, what was her name? Olivia. I remember, because she was being real shady to my girl. She was because to get through the lunch, my girl had to order alcohol, which I was like, saying, because if I got to sit here and pretend like we not even married, first of all, because Olivia and her mama didn't know that they was married, or that they interacted with each other at all. But my girl orders a gin and tonic, and Olivia's like, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that." Like, she real loud with it, and she's like, "Aren't you still underage?" And it's like, bitch, I'm 22. And how old is Daniel? Daniel and Olivia, they're 10 years older, so they're 32. So she turns to look at Daniel like, to be 22 again. I'm like, bitch, you're not gonna play me like I said I was 12. I'm 22, bitch. I'm old enough. It's like, of course, as you get older, you know, you mature, you grow wiser, but still, even at 22, I felt that same way. And I can say now at 30, don't play me. Like, I think that's the one thing. Like, I'll always take with me. I don't care how old I am, and I can remember how I felt at those ages. Like, why y'all always got to talk down on somebody? That shit irks my nerves. But anyway, yeah, they laughing and he entertaining her, and my girl is just growing more jealous by the minute. And I cannot remember if that's the night they had sex, but at some point they Daniel and Alyssa have sex. Sorry, and she was a virgin, so you know she done gave her virginity to him, so she feeling real special. It's a real connection, and they were both, because the marriage was like on the low and people didn't really know, they were playing with each other, like doing shit to make the other jealous. And it was so annoying. And back to what I said the last episode, where it's like we get 3, 4 instances of this. It could be, it couldn't be, I don't know. We're gonna break up. I feel so sad about this. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna pull away. And she was really left feeling like insecure about the relationship, because it's like, even when I feel like she was trying to push herself forward, like, you know, I like you, I actually want to make this work, Daniel was playing with her. So that leads to them actually getting a divorce before the time is up, because it's just like, I can't do this anymore. I want a divorce. I want this to be over. And so, you know, they quickly get a divorce, and but they're still sleeping together because they should have never got a divorce in the first place. But excuse me, you know, it comes to a point where they reveal their true feelings for each other. It's like, I love you, I want to be with you. And he tells her, the woman, because she was always bringing up, like, when they would get into fights and stuff and do the back and forth, she's like, you want to break up with me anyway, so you can go find the woman that you've been wanting this whole time, so go be with her. So lo and behold, that woman has always been her. He just felt the way because it's like, I'm 10 years older than you. I knew you were in love with my brother. And, you know, basically he just played the background. But the woman he told her about, like, that first week of them getting married, it has always been her. And so at the end, he makes the joke like, babe, you know you owe me a car, right? And he had bought and gave her the shares of the company. So she still owned 51 shares of her dad's company in the end. Oh, I forgot. At some point, Dominic, because I really didn't pay him no attention. He was kind of just there. He broke up with the girlfriend because the girlfriend felt like there was something between Alyssa and Dominic when there really wasn't. Like, they were literally just friends. They never crossed the line, anything like that. But she couldn't let it go. So he broke up with her. And then he comes to Alyssa, like, you know, I broke up with her, so now we could finally be together. And she told him no. And he like, what you mean? This thing between you and my, she's like, no. I think at that point she wasn't ready to admit her feelings for Daniel, but she told Dominic, like, no, we're not even really in love with each other. I think we're both, like, confused about our feelings and thinking that we're in love when we really just have love for each other. She's like, you know, there's somebody out there for you. Um, and there's somebody out there for me too. And really, he in the next room, like, basically is what she wanted to say but didn't say. And so, you know, they still just stayed friends in the end. But that was really like nothing big. But I love this story too. This was really good. I like her writing. Catharina, I really hope I'm saying that right. But if I'm not, I'm so sorry. So yes, please go pick up this book, The Ties That Binds, A Marriage of Convenience. Peace and blessings, my beautiful people.